Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. In this video I will show you how we are attempting to use Articulate Storyline 3 to streamline staff induction materials and processes, and it's quite good for updating old stuff. So we will look at how PowerPoints, dusty old PowerPoints from the lands of yore, can be updated, interactivity can be added, and crucially, in today's modern educational environment, scoring and grading can take place. So we'll begin with how to import familiar old PowerPoint. So it has a handy built-in option for doing this, and as you'll see, if I can find my folder, so this one, staff induction, so we open that, and with the magical power of Articulate, the PowerPoint is now imported. You can choose slides separately or the whole thing, and we're just going to select all and import. Let that run. When that's run, your PowerPoint slides appear in this kind of thing. This is called Story View, but it's just a bit like the thing you get on the left hand side on a PowerPoint. You will notice immediately, those tech savvy amongst you, if I just click on a slide, how very similar to PowerPoint this is. Almost suspiciously similar. So it has the same ribbons with very similar transitions, animations. That basically is right out of PowerPoint. And so that's a good thing, because you kind of know where you are, but it does crucially have lots of different things. But to start with, it's nice to know, you've got your text boxes, editable bits and bobs, so you're not entirely in the dark if you've used PowerPoint before, which everyone surely has. So obviously, content-wise, it's professional stuff, but it's an ancient style PowerPoint. Lots of text, and this is kind of designed for an induction session where someone stands and kind of relays this to you from the front. But what we want to do is make this scoreable, and to make it something that new starters can do in their own time before they even start at the college, and we can record grades from it as well, so it does a lot of the work for you. So what we're looking to do is add a bit of interactivity to make it a bit more dynamic and words like that, and to score back. So I'll show you an earlier version of my having faffed with this particular PowerPoint to give you an example of that. So if I just close this one down, get rid of that, and there. So here's my Articulate version of the same thing. So there we have our story view, so you can view the whole thing. This is in a sort of mind map plan type layout, because you might have branching paths for your learning object, so this screen helps you to sort of plan it and get an overview, whereas your content slide, as I say, is your sort of PowerPoint style interface. Right. So all your any animations that are in your PowerPoint will stay. So you might, for example, have these rushing in on a bullet point. You can keep them with Articulate or get rid of them as you like. I kind of wanted to break up these text slides, so lots of bullet points, lots of text to get through. So just something for your user to do, really. So, for example, I broke these bullet points up using what is called layers. So each slide has almost like a layer of transparencies on top of them, which can be attached to certain triggers. Which sounds quite complicated, but the magic of Articulate makes it so easy. We can just add layers here at the bottom. If you've used Photoshop, they're very similar to that kind of thing. So say like we've got layer 1, all you do is no, you don't do that. So what we do is, on the bottom layer, you have sort of conditions attached to things. So all this was just a shape that I inserted. So you just pick a rectangle, and then the rectangle has a an identity on there, and then we can add an action to it, and the action is to exchange it for the next layer, and so on. So we can go to our one of them, and you just fill this out. So it's just action to show the next layer, layer 2, when the user clicks marker 1, which I put in there. And so if we just have a little preview of that, you can do it just by slide. It's a little bit quicker, so we'll do that. It means that instead of reading hundreds of bullet points, we can actually click through. And if nothing else, it keeps your users slightly more conscious, which is always good. So I'll just close that preview. So yeah, layers and triggers. Any item on the page can have a trigger, so you can click things to make things disappear, swap for images, videos to play, any of that kind of thing. I am still learning this myself, but it's quite good so far. So just to move to another one, we've got the old emergency signs thing. So if I click on that one, you'll see on the side. So this is untitled, should really give them titles. So if I click to show you what triggers I've added to that, that is show layer. So we've got another layer underneath that will pop up when the user clicks on that. So you just set up these conditions like filling out a form. So if I OK that again, I'll prove it to you. I'll show you what that does. Just to have something for your users to do. So click on that, and the crucial information for well-being pops up. If you wanted to, you can make this an assignment, and it would have a submit at the bottom, and you can make that gradable. I've done a little bit of that later on, which I will duly show you. Good, got to be patient. Right, okay. Close that. So as well as interactivity, you can add any of the sort of usual features you might expect. So we can embed content in here. You could put YouTube videos in the same way that you would on your VLE or whatever it is you're using, just using embed code. So a nice way to use it would be to have an embedded video and then follow it by a quiz, for example. So you can do all that, and I'll just take you to another slide. So here I had a Word doc with a quiz on that employees would be required to do. So I've made this into an interactive, a scoring quiz with multiple choice. So to do this, we can go to graded question. So we insert a graded question, you choose your question type. Most of these are multiple choice, but there are some drag and drop ones, which are done in the similar way to the triggers and responses thing that I showed you earlier. And any of these we can insert, and it's just a form filling exercise. So you would put the question in there. Correct answer goes in first, then as many answers as you like, optional feedback, and then this slide will automatically be a scoring object at the end. I'm going to just get rid of that, and also I'll show you what we've got here. So let's preview the whole project, and I'll just take you to the quiz part. If you'll excuse a bit of flipping, actually I can use the magic of editing to just spare you that. There you go, the magic of editing has transported us far into the unimaginable future. So this is what the quiz looks like after I've put into that form that I showed. And we can click and submit. And I'll just take you through to a slightly different one. Okay, so here we've got like a word filling exercise. So I'll show you the kind of thing. So hazard something potential to cause harm. So what we've done is, using the triggers and events thing that I've showed you already, I've just attached the right answer to the right box basically. And then we can submit that, and that again is part of the score. And just bear with me a minute. So we've got all the way through our quiz. we have a results slide at the end. So this one is set to, I think there's about 10 questions, and in order to pass this, we need to get all of them right. But you can set different criteria. You could set a certain pass rate, like 75% or such like. So if I just close that preview, you will see. So we've got all our various question slides. Each one has a correct answer, and then you put in a results slide at the end. And basically, again, triggers. So we can click on these statements, and then here you just set what the conditions for success are. Success, so it can be pass or fail, greater than equal to whatever your score criteria are. For this one is 100% because it's health and safety, folks. Nothing. It becomes first before everything. So, but as I say, for different things, you could set an earlier success threshold, if that's what you want to call it. So the triggers and layers combo is a thing that you can do an awful lot with. Okay, so I've given you a bit of insight into how I've got on with Articulate so far. There's lots of potential for it. But how, I hear you scream, do I use this? Well, you need to export it from Articulate, and it can you can pop it onto your VLE, whatever that is, Moodle, or Canvas is the one we're currently using. So then you would publish it, and there are different ways to export. So we're using SCORM 1.2 for Canvas. So we download that as a zip file, and if I just pop onto our glorious VLE, I will show you how it appears. So if we go to our assignments, we've got our health and safety induction, and basically you need to upload it as a SCORM, not to go too far into how Canvas works, because it's different for every VLE. We upload the SCORM, we add the SCORM as an assignment on your Canvas page, and then so users go to it, and it appears much as we've seen in the preview. And that telltale sign is I've been on it before, so we'll start again. And what you need to do is go into your assignment settings. Again, this is for Canvas. You might be using a different one. And I've just set it to complete or incomplete because it is 100% required. But again, you could set a grade in conjunction with your settings when you export it. And so you can set that up as an assignment, you can set a date, you can allocate it to new starters. It just takes out the need to set man hours aside for health and safety inductions. It means people can be started and hit the ground running, saves a bit of time, refreshes old and dusty PowerPoints, God love it, and just makes things a bit more futuristic, which after all is the aim. We all will end up in the future at some point. And with those closing comments, ladies and gentlemen, I shall depart. I hope you have enjoyed this magical journey through Articulate Storyline, and that good day to you!